We are here today at Economy of One. I'm Elizabeth Allen, and we are with Economy of One alumni, Georgia Cross, and she is talking today about how to create branded documentation that really speaks to your unique skills and your unique footprint. And we're so grateful she's sharing her expertise because this is so far beyond my expertise. I'm so grateful, Georgia, that you're sharing your wisdom and knowledge and skills here. Thank you so much. So I'm curious, before we hop into this conversation, how Economy of One helped you in the way you think about the way you yourself as a digital marketer present your branded documentation to those that review it.
I would say, just going into the Economy of One, taking a look at my past roles and the past brands I've worked with and pulling out the pieces of what have I done in my career, one that I'm most proud of, but two that make me happy. Like, what am I most passionate about? What are those skills? First of all, defining that has been the great first step in helping me see what value I can bring to other people. But
Mhm.
and this is where I think your partner Frank at the time when I was going through this, I was challenged to think beyond me and what I'm looking for, because I definitely have that. What am I looking for? What is my ideal role? What's my idea company?
Mhm.
But positioning it when you're speaking to people, and particularly in a networking or in an interview situation,
Mhm.
to flip it to be like, what are those skills and what do they mean to that company? What do they mean to this opportunity? What do they mean to where I could make a difference and an impact?
Yeah.
So, kind of learning to reframe my job search to not be like, oh, I need a job. I need this. I need that. I want this.
So
To
instead of
shift
being
the
all about,
perspective of, I have this that you can use.
Mhm. Well, and
I
it
have
sounds
this
like
that can help you.
it sounds like it's not all about me. It's about what I can do and the measurable impact I can have for
Yeah.
you. What can I do for you? And
Yeah.
people
And
are always in that what's in it for me mindset, and to reframe your skills in such a way that they connect with how they solve problems for companies and answer the question, what's in it for you? What kind of measurable impact do I, as a digital marketer, have for your company? Holy cow, that's exactly the conversation companies who are looking for you want to have.
exactly. And because I am a creative person at heart, I wanted to translate that into a visual, just knowing how people consume social media and content. Everything is, it's quick and it's visual. The goal is to have an emotional connection and that quick recognition. As I created documents like my resume, like a portfolio, like a blog site, a thank you follow up to go to hiring managers, a document for networking. I wanted to bring something visual
Mhm.
to demonstrate my skills and career successes. So that's what we're going to talk about today, is how to show your stuff in this virtual digital world we're in. So these are examples of my resume and my portfolio. Resume is pretty bland, pretty boring, same, typical resume. And what I did is pulled the headlines and descriptions and summaries that I use on LinkedIn and my other social media profiles for consistency. I brought that into my portfolio. And I use links to my LinkedIn and blog and work samples on my resume in the header and also throughout my portfolio. A portfolio can be creative. You can use graphics and images to highlight skills, show company. And one thing I've recently learned is you can pull your recommendations from LinkedIn, pull your top recommendations,
Mhm.
and you can put them in your portfolio with quotes. And your portfolio can be added to your LinkedIn. You can email it to people. You can, I personally don't use a cover letter. When I apply for a job, I use my resume and I use my portfolio. So I'm going to click through to my portfolio real quickly just to show some of the basics. And we
Sure.
can talk about, can you see it?
Yes.
We can talk about, so colors and fonts. I use an accent color. I've got the dark gray. I've got two simple fonts I use, and I've got the turquoise for like a pop of color. I always use this. A darker turquoise is on my website. The About Me page is literally the same content that I have on my LinkedIn. So you can create an About Me page that summarizes who you are, what your skill level is. And again, I'm a social butterfly and connector of people, brands, ideas, and dots. I
And
use that phrase everywhere because I feel like it's kind of my little tagline, if you will. If I'm a brand,
yes,
that's my tagline.
yes. I love that. My tagline is I'm an economy of one. I drive demand for what you supply.
Yes.
That's fantastic. It's fantastic. And I know for business people, you're going to be talking about, brands that you've represented and measurable impact you've had. For business people, a lot of times the documentation they're talking about does include the cover letter, and it does include business case studies, little micro examples of problems that they've solved, skills they've used, measurable impact associated with it. And this is exactly what we're seeing here with you in your career highlights.
Instead of having your full resume, career highlights, I pulled out bullet points from my resume that were my most proud achievements from several of my jobs. It doesn't
And I've
really
noticed,
matter what went with what company, because I list the companies in here as I'm describing what I did. But instead of a resume on a website or on a profile page, just pull out your favorite bullet points
what I
from,
love about these bullet points that you picked, Georgia, is they're all quantifiable bullet
yeah,
points,
numbers.
delivering 27,000 samples, generating over 800 views. These are all quantifiable measures that in your audience, the hiring manager who is looking at digital media, they want to know what was the outcome of the campaign? What was the outcome of your effort? And the thing that's deceptive is that while this is natural in your industry to look at measurable outcomes, I mean, why do you do anything? Well, you do it to build human interest in a brand, but in the end, people are trying to sell things. I mean, even the Chihuahuas were fired with Taco Bell because they didn't sell enough tacos. While they were a brilliant creative strategy, they didn't move enough merchandise.
Right.
People need to be thinking about what in your history is the compelling soundbite that is going to resonate with that reader. When you talk about your best skills and the impact, if you can frame it up in business terms, measurable business terms, it's going to stick so much more with your audience. And you've done a great job of that here. Great job.
Well, I did have the luxury of, I'm also branding strategy and analytics. So I have managed digital campaigns, and I also did the tracking and analytics and post campaign analysis to stakeholders. So I do have the luxury of having the exact numbers, the exact outcomes of all the campaigns I've managed.
Wow.
I think it definitely tells a story, and then transfer to almost any industry. If you're in like a 9 to 5 type job, these are my digital marketing skills and the technology and tools I've worked within. So I've listed within social media, these are the different programs and platforms I've used. Just kind of broke it down within the different areas. But if you are an accountant, what programs have you used? What skills do you have? If you have a certification in your industry, you could put that on there. So it's just a way to visualize it. The thought is, how can you make it interesting for the viewer, someone looking at it?
Mhm.
I mean, someone can look at this and be like, oh, she's done a lot within the digital world of a lot of different things. And
Yes.
oh, look at all this experience she has on these different technology platforms. Well, it doesn't matter what tech tool you have, I'm going to learn it because I figured out all these and there's nothing that I can't figure out given a little bit of time and the right resources. Those are transferable skills no matter what the job is. If it's in digital and technology, this just shows kind of my breadth of experience.
What I love about this too is if you are new to industry and you're trying to figure out how to convey your interest in an industry, and maybe you don't have a lot of experience to pull from, maybe a perspective to take on a slide like this is thought leaders that I follow, where you're actually sharing their credibility and creating co-credibility, because you're mentioning these are thought leaders that really influence this, the way strategically I think about things. So when I advise college students, for example, I always say, if you're interested in certain industries, make sure you're connected to those thought leaders. Make sure you're reposting their thought leadership so that it's assumed you're up to speed on where the industry is at and what the key influencers are within that industry. Borrow credibility. Even if you don't have experience, borrow credibility. And I love that here. You've done a great job of showing the breadth of your experience.
And then I just listed the industry experience. This is
Wow.
maybe not for everyone, but my core career and experience is advertising and marketing. That's basically the industry, but I've worked across a variety of business to consumer, business to business, everything from fitness to automotive, manufacturing, consumer products, goods, legal marketing, nonprofit, a little bit of everything in the 15 plus years. It really depends on if you've been in the same industry for a ton of years, maybe you wouldn't need something like this. But if you've been in a variety of industries, I think it's good to show that diversity because you bring a different perspective and that could be attractive to potential employers. Another consideration, I love this. This is just, I pulled the logos of all the brands that I've worked with. These were my clients. Again, if you're in logistics, maybe you've worked with Amazon on a project, or maybe you've worked with Cisco, or just having a one pager that shows the quick identity. You can look at this and be like, oh, she's worked with some major brands, Um, this gets it across. If I had a paragraph listing everything, someone's not going to read it. So it's just a quick visual. And I use this, I repurpose this, as you're going to see in some of my other documents. So this could be something you have on your LinkedIn page under where you can upload some of your examples and work in the featured section. Maybe it's just a slide that shows the brands you've worked with. There's a ton of ways to customize your portfolio. And I put work and blog samples. This is deep dive, definitely customizable for, this is for my intended target is for an HR person that's looking at me and 3 other people. They're like, oh, she's worked on this event with Nissan. She's got her metrics here. She tells what she did and how she contributed.
You've connected your core skills to their problem. You've connected your core skills to their problem. You've looked at the scope of the challenge and you've branded it beautifully, Georgia, here. Your contributions, the metrics, instant one shot of how your skills communicate value in measurable ways to companies. And we really teach this at Economy of One because most people just go to their job day in, day out, they do their job and they don't pay attention to how they are being analyzed for efficiency, effectiveness, and they don't realize how their skills make contributions to the company. I believe if you don't take control of how you're being measured and you don't connect those to your skills, you're going to be the victim of AI that is going to make the connection of those dots. You will be rated. Companies will begin sharing those ratings between each other And this information is going to be used against you if you don't figure out how to use it positively for you. And I love what you've done here because you have connected the dots beautifully.
Thank you. We're just going to scroll through. I have,
Look at that. Multiple industries.
yeah, I did 2 examples from the 2 different companies that
Mhm.
I work for. And then this is my personal / lifestyle marketing blog. It's kind of a mishmash. How do you say that? So I branded myself with my blog. I just rebranded. I was georgiacrossmarketing.com, but then I realized yoga is another piece of who I have become as a person and as a brand. And I've started talking about more than just marketing and best practices. On my blog, I talk about my favorite Nashville places and things to do. So I have come up with Nashville Yogi Marketer for my personal brand because I blog about the things I'm most passionate about, Nashville marketing and karma. So, as a lifestyle blogger, I put just some thumbnails and links to some of my articles that I've written. And then I've showed some of my branding themes that I use across my other content. So, my goal, I would love to attract a lifestyle brand as an employer to work with to create content on digital and social channels around adventure, self-care,
You
all the
and I love the fact you're bringing this up. I just,
would love to do this.
I
Yeah.
have an idea for you, and I will share that with you after the call. But my goodness, how committed you are to this. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm even thinking of creating brand coaching for yoga teachers. So
Yeah.
that's another idea I've come across. But I have an experience over the past 18 years that I've been in the Nashville area. I co-founded Social Media Club Nashville, professional organization in 2009, and we're still active on our Facebook group, even though we're not having in-person meetings. But back in the day, maybe 5 years ago, I have represented brands
Mhm.
on social media. So I've listed some of those examples here for companies that are interested. If I'm looking at a role where I'm working with influencers, that's great experience to show. And then this is my recommendations. These are people that I've worked with every time. I try to do it while I'm in the job. When you just finished a great project with someone, reach out to your partner, ask for a LinkedIn recommendation, give them one in return. But every job that I've been at, I make sure I at least have at least two, one a coworker and one maybe partner or company we worked with on a project. It's important to have those LinkedIn recommendations because I don't know about you, but I read them. When I'm interviewing with someone, I look at the hiring manager.
Mhm.
I look to see who's recommended him. What are the people that either he managed before
Mhm.
or people that worked with him? What are they saying? Because I want to know, who is this person? Am I going to get along with them? Are they going to be, are we going to get along? Definitely you want to have those recommendations on your LinkedIn. But I pulled out the most prominent ones from my recent jobs that really they say it for me. I don't have to say it. That
And
I'm
I would say,
expertise, I'm great at managing people and projects, and I'm a pleasure to work with. I'm not saying that. They're saying that.
right. The one thing I always ask for, especially when I think about, for example, clients that I work with on my professional side that I've taught selling methodologies, I always ask for them to talk about the results we achieved working together. And when a CEO of a company says, you were able to double sales in 1 year, when we went from 15 million to 30 million in revenue within 1 year, that's impressive. And that was how I got my start in industry. Is we just had this crazy opportunity that I call my God wink that launched my career. But having a CEO who would go on record with that and talk about a 230% increase in margin and a double in revenue, it totally changed the trajectory of my career.
To just draw upon my my marketing background, word of mouth. Yes, my influencers are so big right now in social media because it's not what you say about yourself that matters. It's the impression you leave behind. It's what is that phrase? It's how you make other people feel.
You know,
That is
that's what
the
they remember.
memorable piece of
Yes.
you and your brand.
Beautiful.
So what others say about you can speak volumes, especially in a job search situation. In a document like this, I've already shown you all the great things that I'm saying about myself, but just having it back up from other people, it's like getting that 5-star review if you were a product.
Beautiful.
But yeah, thank you. And then the last page is my information to connect. Again, using linking to my LinkedIn, putting my social media profiles on there. You just want to make it easy for someone to find you. I'm going to flip back to the presentation now. Those are some pieces that you can customize, you can create yourself, and you can brand yourself during the job search. I have created this targets document. And this was because the economy of one helped me realize I want to put down on paper what it is. One, what is my summary of my values that I offer from that perspective
Mhm.
of my audience?
Wow, Georgia, that just sounds great. And I'm looking forward to discussing your career targets document in our next video. You've given us a lot of great information on resume branding and portfolios today. Thank you so much. I'm Elizabeth Allen for the Economy of One channel. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. We have dozens of videos available to watch on the various aspects of creating opportunity instead of just chasing another soulless, mindless job and paycheck. We put out new videos every single week. And if you like the material, please check out our workbook and buy it on Amazon.com. You can also subscribe to our newsletter, which sends out new links and new resources every week at economyofone.com. Just go to the bottom of our homepage, give us your best email address, and we'll get it to you. Thank you so much for watching.